It's so easy to get sucked into the latest diet craze, whether that be low carb, going on Atkins, keto diet, Weight Watchers, Optivia, you name it. Sure, you'll get results, but only in the short term. But what happens next? I'm gonna tell you exactly what goes wrong and what you can do to avoid it. First things first, if you do not see yourself doing this sort of diet that you are attempting in the long term, 5-10 years from now, it's probably not the diet for you. Whether a diet is sustainable or not is what matters the most. Research shows that it really doesn't matter what type of diet you adhere to. What really does matter is the amount of calories you are consuming per day and if you're eating an adequate amount of protein. All in all diets will work, but what really matters is if you can stick to it or not. Your dietary adherence is very personal to you. Personally, I would not be able to do the carnivore diet because, yeah, I like to incorporate red meat once in a while, but not like every single day for every single meal. And I really love my carbs. So that diet personally would not be for me. I've done the vegan diet in the past and I was successful for about 6 to 7 years. However, I personally got really bored of the same foods and I just wanted a little bit more variety. I've also done intermittent fasting in the past and yeah, it's been successful. It was a great style of eating. You know, there's nothing special about intermittent fasting. It's all about just having a set window of time. However, I understand that muscle protein synthesis is optimized when you eat around 30 to 40 grams of protein. I understand that protein is best absorbed for muscle protein synthesis. It's eaten in about like 30 to 40 gram doses throughout the day versus just having 2 humongous meals and boluses of protein a day. So any of those strategies could work for somebody as long as they are eating less calories than what their body burns per day. You will lose fat. So what really does happen when you start these diets is, yes, temporary weight loss because you are in that calorie deficit as long as you are eating less than what your body burns. However, that diet is not conducive to your lifestyle. That weight loss is going to be coupled with weight regain as soon as you cheat or deviate. And if you really think about it, let's say you do go on keto, you do it for a few weeks, there is really no transition kind of phase that you need to go through in order to incorporate carbs back again into your diet. There really isn't a big purpose for just going on keto for the short term. If a few weeks or a few months later, you're just gonna regain the weight back because you had a slice of cake. Let's now take the example of intermittent fasting. So the general intermittent fasting approach is eating for 8 hours during the day and then fasting for about 16 hours. Now, this is just a style of eating. There's no real diet associated with intermittent fasting. It's just when you want to eat during the day versus when you don't want to eat during the day. I would actually really recommend this strategy for certain clients. I would recommend it for nurses, for just shift workers in general. And research actually shows that people with type 2 diabetes will see improvements in their insulin when they start adopting this intermittent fasting approach. Now, why is that? Well, you're only eating for a certain period of time and as a result, your insulin's only being secreted for 8 hours of the day versus, the 12 to 16 hours during the day. Intermittent fasting can also be good for people who can't really control their appetite and for people that are chronic snackers. If you are very disciplined and can follow food rules, this is also very good for you because, you have that window of time where you are going to be eating and then you know that you have a window of time where you're not eating, right? And so that can really put you in the headspace of, okay, I need to do my work when I'm not eating, I need to take care of my kids, I need to do some meal prep, I need to do this, versus when you do have your eating window, whether that be 8 hours or whatever that is for you, you know that you are eating your food, of course, taking breaks between meals, but also it's just a mindset as well. One of the reasons why people actually lose fat on intermittent fasting is you can probably only fit 2 meals or maybe three smaller meals throughout the day, and you can't really eat a copious amount of calories within that short eating window. Intermittent fasting just makes caloric restriction a lot easier. But if you believe that, you're going to be incorporating breakfast or you're going to be incorporating your lunch in the future, maybe it's not the best approach for your fat loss goal right from the start. It's better to pick a diet regime that you can stick to long term so that you actually enjoy what you are eating. So here's what I want you to do instead. Take a look at all the foods that you are currently eating. To be honest, most people are consuming a lot of ultra processed food within their diet. All of those foods are very calorically dense, meaning it is so easy to overconsume them because number one, they are hyper palatable, and number two, it's really hard to stop eating them once you start. You're just going to crave and crave more of these ultra processed foods. So what should I recommend for you? Well, the easy answer would be just to cut everything out. And yeah, again, it's going to work in the short term. But then you're going to deprive yourself, and then you're going to miss the food and whatnot, and you're not going to stick to it. And then you're just going to, binge on them come the weekend, right? Like most people do. So what I would actually recommend for you is to slowly start cutting them out, right? So if you go to the drive-thru and you get a Big Mac with fries and a Coca-Cola, easiest thing that I want you to do this week is get the Big Mac, get the fries, but instead of the Coca-Cola, get a diet soda, any diet soda you want, okay? Bonus points if you have water, okay? That's even better option for you. But I know that can be a little harsh for some people. And then next week, okay, if you get a large fry, get a medium fry. Or if you get a medium fry with your meal, get a small fry. And so on and so forth until, you get to the burger. And instead of, a Big Mac, maybe you can get a chicken sandwich, or you can get a salad and fries and your diet soda, right? So it's not really about just cutting everything out immediately because, you're going to shock your body and you're going to just deprive yourself, right? This is supposed to be a lifestyle, right? So slowly start to taper down the amount of ultra processed foods that you consume. And trust me, it is so much better doing it that way versus just going cold turkey, cutting everything out, because you run the risk of just gaining all that fat that you did lose. Let me know if this video helped you in the comments below. That's it for me, guys. Make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye.